Welcome to our explainer. I want to start our time together today by asking you to just imagine something for a moment. What if one of the absolute most powerful restorative tools for your entire body has actually been sitting quietly right there in your kitchen this whole time? We are not talking about something you'd find in an expensive prescription bottle from the pharmacy. We are talking about something simply resting in a dark glass bottle in your pantry, extra virgin olive oil. Now, most of us just drizzle it over a nice salad or use it to coat a pan, right? But researchers who spend their lives studying aging and brain health have uncovered something truly fascinating. They have found that when consumed right before bed, a single tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil might be the exact missing signal your aging body desperately needs to heal itself overnight. Today, we are going to walk through, step by step, exactly why this incredible nighttime miracle happens and how you can easily make it work for you.
So let me ask you a very personal question. What keeps you up at night? And I mean that literally. Is it an aching knee or a stiff hip that just can't get comfortable? Are you lying there worrying about your heart health? Or perhaps noticing tiny little slips in your memory during the day that keep your mind racing in the dark? You know, so many older adults simply aren't getting the deep restorative sleep they once did. It is incredibly frustrating. But here's the most reassuring thing I can possibly tell you today, and I really want you to hear this. Your body is not broken. It's really not. Over time, yes, physiological changes happen. Our blood sugar fluctuates, our digestion slows down quite a bit, and the brain faces everyday wear and tear. But your body is simply missing the specific tools it needs to successfully work the night shift. You absolutely do not need to fight your body, you just need to understand it and give it the exact right environment it needs to heal.
Let's dive right into the very first major concept here, and it has to do with your brain. Have you ever wondered why poor sleep as we get a bit older isn't just about stress or maybe having a cup of coffee too late in the afternoon? Well, more often than not, the real culprit is something called neuroinflammation. That might sound like a big, intimidating medical word, but it just means a low-grade, chronic inflammation happening inside the brain. I want you to think of neuroinflammation like a low, smoldering fire burning inside a very busy factory. At night, the workers in that factory, which are your brain cells, well, they can't do their repair jobs properly because they are constantly coughing and choking through all that smoke. This lingering inflammation directly disrupts your body's ability to produce melatonin, completely ruining your ability to fall into a deep, truly restorative sleep.
Now, look at the incredible results we see when we introduce something as simple as olive oil to this exact problem. Studies from the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found a remarkable 28% improvement in sleep continuity when older adults consume olive oil polyphenols in the evening. Think about what a 28% better night of sleep would feel like for you. So, how does it actually work? Well, researchers found that a natural compound right inside extra virgin olive oil, called oleocanthal, functions biochemically almost exactly like ibuprofen. It acts as a gentle, completely natural anti-inflammatory to basically put out that smoldering factory fire in your brain. But the best part? It does this entirely without the harsh stomach and gastrointestinal side effects that make over-the-counter medications so difficult for many of us to tolerate day after day.
Okay, so how do we actually put this into practice safely and easily at home? It's very simple. You want to use just 1 tablespoon of high-quality, cold-pressed, extra virgin olive oil about 30 minutes before you plan to go to sleep. Now, here is a little secret to know if you have the right oil. Look for an oil where you can actually taste a slight peppery bite in the back of your throat when you swallow it. That little bite? That is the oleocanthal actively working. Honestly, if it doesn't make you want to cough just a tiny little bit, it's probably not working hard enough for you. And to give yourself a deeply restorative, double advantage, pair that peppery olive oil with a small handful of tart cherries or a sip of tart cherry juice. By magically combining the anti-inflammatory action of the oil with the natural melatonin found in those cherries, you are putting your body into the absolute perfect state for deep healing rest.
Moving right along to our next absolutely vital topic, protecting your heart. Did you know that the most dangerous time for your cardiovascular system is actually not during the day when you are up, walking around, and active? Surprisingly, the most dangerous time is the early morning hours, specifically in that quiet window between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. During this specific time, your blood pressure naturally starts to surge, and your arterial stiffness is at its absolute highest point of the entire day. You see, after age 70, our arterial walls naturally lose a bit of their youthful rubber band-like elasticity. That morning stiffness puts an enormous, heavy pressure right on the heart itself, and this is happening while you are simply lying in bed trying to sleep.
To understand how to fix this, we have to look at what your liver is doing while you sleep.
Your liver actually does the vast majority of its cholesterol regulation work in the dark, usually between midnight and 3 a.m. And the difference in the cholesterol it handles is striking. Unoxidized LDL cholesterol is relatively harmless, floating happily along. But oxidized LDL, that is the truly dangerous form. That's the stuff that forcefully embeds itself into your arterial walls and builds up those stiffening, dangerous plaques. Well, the oleic acid found in extra virgin olive oil directly reduces this dangerous LDL oxidation. By taking that little bit of olive oil right before bed, you are essentially walking up to your liver's night shift workers and handing them the exact healthy fats they need right before they clock in. This significantly reduces the dangerous oxidized cholesterol that stiffens your arteries by the time morning rolls around.
To really bring this home, I want you to consider Margaret. She's a 74-year-old woman whose stubborn cholesterol numbers simply wouldn't budge, no matter what she tried, putting her right on the frightening brink of needing daily statin therapy. But by taking just a teaspoon of high-quality extra virgin olive oil nightly as part of a gentle lifestyle adjustment, her entire life changed. 8 months later, her oxidized LDL markers had dropped noticeably, and her nighttime blood pressure improved so wonderfully that her doctor was able to delay that statin therapy indefinitely. As she so beautifully put it, I feel like I gave my heart a second chance. That is the power we are talking about here. Just a simple, completely natural daily habit making a profoundly life-altering difference.
Now, if you are someone who wakes up feeling stiff, with achy joints that take a while to get moving in the morning, please pay very close attention to this next part. Let's look at something called your synovial tissue. This is the very delicate, thin layer of cells lining your joints that produces all the lubricating fluid necessary for smooth, pain-free movement. I want you to think of your synovial tissue exactly like a crucial oil seal inside a car's engine. As we age, that seal naturally thins out, and inflammation begins to erode the protective cartilage. But extra virgin olive oil, and specifically that wonderful oleocanthal compound we talked about, actively blocks a very specific inflammatory chemical called interleukin-1 beta. This chemical is the exact signal that aggressively tells your body to break down your joint cartilage. Olive oil boldly steps right in and blocks that destructive signal entirely.
And let me tell you, the results of blocking that structural joint destruction are nothing short of astounding. In a comprehensive 12-week study, older participants who were dealing with moderate knee osteoarthritis experienced a massive 41% reduction in their daily pain scores. 41%! And alongside that, they saw a 38% improvement in their overall joint mobility, just by adding this high-quality extra virgin olive oil to their daily routine. What is so incredible is that they achieved this wonderful relief without adding a single new prescription medication to their pill box. It is such a powerful, comforting reminder that sometimes the absolute most effective tools we have for soothing our aging, tired joints are completely natural.
If you want to get the absolute most out of this joint-soothing benefit, timing is everything. You see, your body's tissue-repairing growth hormone naturally hits its peak while you are in your deepest stages of sleep. So you want to take your 1 tablespoon of olive oil exactly 30 to 45 minutes before you head to bed. And here is a wonderfully comforting tip to go with it. Pair that evening oil with a small, soothing glass of warm lemon water. Vitamin C is absolutely essential for your body to create the collagen that rebuilding cartilage requires. So when you combine the building blocks of the lemon water with the deep anti-inflammatory power of the olive oil, you are basically giving your body the ultimate overnight joint restoration protocol.
Let's shift our focus and move down to the digestive system, because maintaining our gut health is absolutely critical as we get older. Did you know that adults over the age of 70 often lose about 35% of their gut's microbial diversity? That loss directly leads to weakened immunity and a whole host of digestive complaints. But here is the amazing part. While you are fast asleep, your digestive tract undergoes a massive cleaning process called the migrating motor complex. These are rhythmic muscular contractions that basically sweep your intestines clean. Think of it as your body's dedicated overnight janitorial staff. Extra virgin olive oil acts as an incredibly powerful prebiotic during this precise time. Its rich polyphenols selectively feed your beneficial bacteria, gently suppress the harmful species, and actually amplify this overnight sweeping process to help restore the healthy bacterial diversity you so desperately need.
Now, we really must address something that acts as a silent thief of our physical independence as we age: muscle loss. In the medical world, we are talking about sarcopenia and anabolic resistance. After age 60, the average person loses between 1 and 2% of their hard-earned muscle mass every single year. A really big reason for this is anabolic resistance, which is just a fancy way of saying your aging muscles become hard of hearing. You can eat plenty of healthy protein,
But your aging muscles simply don't hear the signal to grow and repair themselves like they did when you were 30. This silent, steady muscle wasting is incredibly dangerous because it directly threatens your metabolism and significantly lowers your resistance to dangerous, life-altering falls.
But don't worry, because extra virgin olive oil offers a truly remarkable defense against this silent thief. Normally, aging muscles suffer from a heavily blunted response to dietary protein, along with an increase in a specific protein called myostatin. Myostatin acts just like a biological brake pedal, literally stopping your muscle growth in its tracks. However, when older adults supplement with olive oil polyphenols, something amazing happens. It actually turns up the volume on those vital growth signals. It directly stimulates the production of IGF-1, which is a key hormone that commands your muscles to synthesize new protein, and it actively releases those biological brakes. Suddenly, your muscles are finally able to hear the vital signals to maintain and rebuild themselves while you are in your deep sleep repair window.
To show you what this actually means in real everyday life, consider Robert. He's a 71-year-old retired firefighter who was steadily losing his grip strength and found himself struggling more and more just to get up from his favorite armchair. By simply pairing his evening olive oil with a little bit of slow-releasing protein like a small spoonful of cottage cheese before bed, his life transformed. Within just 6 months, his grip strength improved by a massive 18%, and he regained 4 pounds of lean functional muscle. With tears in his eyes, he told his family that he carried all the heavy grocery bags from the car into the house in one single trip for the first time in 3 long years. He completely reclaimed his real-world physical independence.
Let's move on to a topic that silently and invisibly affects millions of older adults every single night: blood sugar regulation. A great many people suffer from something known as the dawn phenomenon. This is an unexpected early morning spike in your blood sugar that happens because your liver decides to release stored glucose in anticipation of you waking up and needing energy. Now, for the more than 50% of adults over age 65 who are dealing with some level of insulin resistance, this creates a very significant, very unhealthy spike. Night after night, week after week, these silent early morning blood sugar surges cause hidden vascular damage, accelerate your cellular aging, and drastically increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes.
Fortunately, we can provide our bodies with powerful overnight metabolic protection, simply and effectively. Extra virgin olive oil, when consumed right before bed, physically slows down gastric emptying. This means any food from your evening snack or dinner is released very, very gradually into your system. It also directly improves your cell's overall insulin sensitivity. Furthermore, those magical olive oil polyphenols actually enhance your mitochondrial efficiency, meaning they help your cell's little energy factories process glucose smoothly and safely. For the absolute best result, try taking your olive oil 20 minutes before your last evening snack, and maybe stir a tiny teaspoon of apple cider vinegar into a little warm water to drink alongside it. This simple combination creates a remarkably powerful, stabilizing shield for your metabolic health all night long.
And now, we arrive at perhaps the most extraordinary, mind-blowing benefit of all, taking place deep inside your brain while you are completely unaware. We need to talk about the glymphatic system. Did you know that while you sleep, your physical brain literally shrinks just a tiny bit inside your skull? It's true. This slight shrinking opens up pathways that allow cerebral spinal fluid to rush in and flow freely through the tiny spaces between your brain cells. It acts exactly like a powerful, nightly deep wash cycle for your brain. This incredible system flushes out all the accumulated metabolic waste from the day, including a highly toxic protein called beta-amyloid, which happens to be the primary protein that forms those devastating plaques in the brains of people suffering from Alzheimer's disease.
Without consistent, high-quality deep sleep, that toxic beta-amyloid just continues to build up, decade after decade. But here is the groundbreaking scientific discovery that completely shifts the landscape for us. Researchers have found that oleocanthal, yes, that exact same natural anti-inflammatory compound in your extra virgin olive oil, can heavily stimulate the mechanisms of this vital brain-clearing process. In fact, regular evening exposure to this compound increases the efficiency of the brain's overnight self-cleaning wash cycle by a staggering 50%. Because this crucial wash cycle operates almost exclusively while you are sleeping, taking the olive oil right before bed ensures that these protective compounds are front and center exactly when the brain's cleaning system turns on.
So how do we actively maximize this incredible overnight brain detox? It is a very simple 3-step routine. First, take 1 tablespoon of high polyphenol extra virgin olive oil about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Second, whenever possible, try to sleep in a lateral position, which simply means sleeping on your side rather than flat on your back or stomach. Fascinating research actually shows that the glymphatic system functions up to 25% more efficiently when you sleep on your side. And finally, pair your nightly dose of olive oil with a small serving of fresh or frozen blueberries. The unique natural compounds found in blueberries can actually cross the blood-brain barrier to further reduce neuroinflammation, creating what is arguably the most evidence-supported, powerful nighttime brain protection protocol available to us today.
I'd love to share the story of Eleanor with you. Eleanor is a vibrant 78-year-old woman who honestly lived in sheer terror of her family's long history of Alzheimer's disease. She described feeling like she was just passively sitting around, waiting for it to eventually happen to her. But then, she started this simple nighttime brain protocol, taking her high polyphenol extra virgin olive oil paired with a small, delicious bowl of blueberries right before bed. 2 years into this new routine, her memory remained perfectly, wonderfully sharp. Her sleep that improved dramatically, and most importantly, that lingering heavy fear was completely gone. As she so powerfully and confidently said, "I feel like I'm actually fighting back." She stopped being a passive passenger in her aging journey and finally took control of her health.
Which brings us to our final and perhaps most important thought of our time together today. Are you ready to take back your independence tonight? When we look at the whole picture, from improving the depth of your sleep and fiercely protecting your heart, to soothing those aching joints, healing your aging gut, preserving your precious muscle mass, and actively washing your brain of toxic proteins, the science is absolutely clear. You are never ever too old, and you are never too far along to stop accepting physical and mental decline as just an inevitable part of getting older. And the most beautiful part? This entire protocol costs less than $1 a day. So I encourage you to grab that simple bottle of liquid gold from your kitchen cabinet and let your amazing body do the incredible healing it was always designed to do. Will tonight be the night you finally give your body the exact tools it needs to repair itself?